Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and Positive Solutions for Environmental Injustice. Of course, we have with us to talk about some of the positive solutions for environmental injustices, Mr. RBartlett, who is a longtime member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and Mr. BWoods1, who is also a longtime member as well as a member of the Executive Committee for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And let me, Mr. Bartlett and Mr. Wood, welcome the two of you to the show this morning.
Thank you.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Bartlett and Mr. Wood, what we'd like to do is to talk about some of the environmental injustices as well as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. But in order to do that, let's have you and Mr. Bartlett, Mr. Bartlett and you and Mr. Wood to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that got you involved in the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And of course, Mr. Wood will give us similar kind of information for that first 6 minutes of the program here.
All right.
You want to give us?
My name is R.C. Bartlett. I originated here. I come in here from Alabama in 1953. I attended Tennessee State University, and I've truck driver for about a little over 48 years out here on the road. And I had experience over the whole 48 states and then some. I've also gone into Canada, and had just retired from truck driving in 2001. And I got introduced to Mr. Wood. We had some environmental problems in my neighborhood, and I also went into the NAACP with the organization and had some experiences with the organization, and we are just pleased to be able to do some environmental work. And I always tell them that I was the one that helped polluted the earth, and so now I spend the rest of my days trying to clean it up.
Very good. Okay, very good. Mr. Wood?
Well, I've been in Nashville since 1984, and I got involved in environmental politics, and on all the environmental politics that we got involved with were with the neighborhoods and the downtown incinerator, Edge Hill cleaners. That was a horrible degradation of the environment. Laidlaw, Mr. Bartlett's neighborhood, that's how we met. They had this North American galvanizing diesel trucks right through a residential street that you know, had a lot of black people on that street. And so every area that we worked in concerning minority people were getting, so we went over to the NAACP and talked with them, and I was blessed. The best thing I got out of, have I ever gotten out of environmental work is now I'm a member and an usher at First Corinthian Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor Fuzz was very active with the NAACP Health Committee, so I'm now in the church, but I'm also a member, an elected executive committee member of the NAACP, and the NAACP is one of the few national organizations that has a plank, a firm thing against environmental injustice. That's where the pollution rolls downhill to the poor and minority, the minority and the poor. And we've run into it in Dixon County, every area of the state, Oak Ridge, Scarborough, the nuclear stuff that's gone in there. It's just, it curdles your stomach, and there's no, and you have to clean it up, and it's just a very tough thing. I'm active, and then also my parents were active in the NAACP, and they helped desegregate some restaurants, and I saw that happen. And so I think the NAACP is just one of the key institutions and groups in our country, and we're blessed to have it.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Bartlett, I think that some of the things that Mr. Wood has pointed out, we generally don't associate. Certainly we know that the NAACP is concerned about these issues, but we didn't know that it was such a widespread pollution, environmental injustice, as Mr. Wood is pointing out. What do you think about, I mean, how did you find that in your own community over the last minute?
Well, I found that in my community by we have a active plant in my community that we found to be pollution, and not only that, I found a long while ago that we were suffering with problems that we needed to clean up. and I've had my point in life, even trying to teach my grandchildren, if we don't throw it there, it won't be there, you know. So we as individuals have to play our part in cleaning up the environment, because we're going to have to eat it, sleep it, breathe it, and it is our job as well as the politicians to be active in.
Very good. Of course, let us, Mr. Bartlett and Mr. Wood, take this first commercial break, after which we'll come back and give you an opportunity to continue our conversation. And of course, we'll be back with you following this very, very short commercial break. We're talking to Mr. R.C.